Hello again! Welcome to another episode of How to Pixelmon! Today we're going to continue our journey looking at the water Pokemon starters. So, last episode we looked over Blastoise and Feraligatr. Blastoise being a very good tanky one, Feraligatr a physical attacker who can also take a hit. Today we're going to be looking at Swampert, Empoleon, and Samurott. So let's take a quick look at the shinies here for you guys. We got the massively pink Swampert, of course. We have the lighter blues of the Empoleon, and the slightly changed color of the Samurott. So, let's take a look at Mr. Swampert here. Swampert's best stats are going to be like its health and attack. Its defensive stats are okay as well. It's not much of a fast Pokemon, as you can see. None of these guys are fast. You know, if the other ones, they weren't very fast, these ones are even slower than those ones were. So, you're not really going to want to train any of these guys for speed, per se. But, we have him here. He is going to be trained, probably your best bet is going to be definitely training his attack. Or you could train either of his defenses or health, of course. So, looking at a moveset for him, we're going to want to emphasize that attack power. Now, the thing is, he doesn't learn any physical water attacks. You're going to have to find a waterfall HM to teach it to him. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with muddy water or perhaps hydro pump, depending on when you level him up. So that is a downside, especially with the rarity of waterfall. However, if he does get that, it will be very effective. He also does learn Earthquake and Hammer Arm on his own, which are two very good moves. Of course, Ground giving you the stab abilities, and Hammer Arm just being a very strong fighting move. And also you can teach him another good physical move like I have it, for example, Stone Edge here, which will be good to counter certain things that go up against him. So, one thing you gotta worry about with Swampert is grass types. Grass type is definitely the bane of Swampert's existence. If you would like to, you can go ahead and put like an ice move on him, and then he'll be able to counter that a little bit better. But once again, he's not a special attacker. He's definitely physical. But the upside to that is electric attacks don't affect him, because he's ground type. So, Swampert's definitely a really cool Pokemon defensively, because he can pretty much take a hit from anything, but he completely melts to grass. So if you would like to use one, just make sure to keep it away from all grass moves, and definitely throw it out to fight electric Pokemon, because it'll definitely throw people off once in a while. Now let's take a look at Empoleon. As you can see, Empoleon is a penguin, so he can only waddle so fast. That gives good reason for his lower speed. But he's really good at special attack and special defense. Nearly the opposite of Feraligatr, I might say. Because you're going to want to probably train those two, because throw him out when the special attacker is out, he'll be able to take a hit. And he can actually deliver a very strong special attack move. And as you see here, he has a list of special attack moves. Now the only one here he actually learns on his own is Hydro Pump. He doesn't necessarily learn a lot of good special attacks on his own, but you can teach him other ones. You definitely want to go for Flash Cannon, because he's part Steel type when he evolves into Empoleon, so that you will get the stab from this, increasing the power to 120. Although Steel's not super effective against much, it's still a very strong move, especially if Hydro Pump's not the move for the job. Also, teaching him Ice Beam is a good idea, and even a move such as Grass Knot, because that will still do decent damage and take out some of the things that you might have to worry about. Someone sends out a water type or a ground type, especially to counter your steel. You have Grass Knot there to take out, say, if a Swampert attacks you. So you got all that kind of stuff backed up. And there's plenty of other moves you can teach him, but that's a good special attack move set. Now finally, let's take a look at Samurott. Samurott, I'd have to say, is my least favorite of all the water types. I don't want to say he's the weakest of all of them, but I personally believe he is, because his best two attacks are special attack and physical attack. So he doesn't have any speed or high defense to back up his attack power, but he can use a variety of moves. Thing is, when you're teaching a Pokemon a moveset, you don't necessarily want to teach him different kinds of moves. You want it to, either stick with physical or special, so you can EV train it in that specific one. But what I would do with him is I'd probably train him for special attack and health. His special attack is higher than his physical attack. So as you see here, a moveset would be Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Grass Knot, very similar. Thing is, he doesn't learn as many moves, so you could give him Scald to know another water move that doesn't necessarily have the low accuracy of Hydro Pump, or you could teach him something such as Hyper Beam, and that would work well. So another thing you can do with Samurott though is, because remember he does have some attack on him, you could train him for the attack. So we have this one here, and it actually does learn a lot of the physical attacks on its own. It learns Aqua Tail and Aqua Jet. I would suggest having both of these, because Aqua Tail, of course, is going to be your strongest physical water move. Aqua Jet, although Samurott has low speed, this is a priority move. So if you do need that speed, it'll come in and hit really fast with that. It also learns Revenge on its own, which is a fighting move that can be very effective, and of course X-Scissor it can learn, which is a really good bug move, which is good against, you know, your darks and your psychics and grass and all kinds of stuff like that. That'll definitely be able to counter any grass types that try to come out against you. So you can definitely teach it that, as well as a bunch of other physical moves. Unfortunately, Samurott can learn more physical moves than special attack moves. So if you would like to train one for physical attack, you can go ahead and do that. So let's take a look at the items we would put on them. Swampert, probably having a Shell Bell, because it can take a hit. As we said, you might want to train it in health, but it can also put out some damage. So Shell Bell would be good. Pretty much all the moves we have on it, so I'd probably suggest Shell Bell over Leftovers, or you could always go with the choice item on it. That would be good as well. And on these ones we actually have choice items just to increase the special attack or increase the physical attack. You could potentially put a choice Scarf on them. It would make them outspeed most things, but not everything. The point of having a choice Scarf, I believe, is to outspeed everything. And with the speed on these guys, unless you train it for speed, it's not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. So, of course, we're going to want Swampert, a nature that will increase its attack, and, you know, either lower, you know, one of its defenses or speed, perhaps. You're going to want on Empoleon something with increased special attack or special defense, and anything that lowers its attack or speed. A lot more natures you can work with on him. And Samurott, depending on if you want to make it special attack or attack, you're going to want that. And then, of course, lowering speed would be preferable. But you can also lower the defenses on Samurott even more so, because they are a little bit lower. But I guess that's everything we have to say about these water Pokemon. They're definitely some solid Pokemon, kind of versatile to use. None of them are specifically amazing at, like, attack. We don't have any great sweepers or great tanks, but these are all-around dependable Pokemon. They can usually at least take one hit and put out a very solid hit. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to leave likes and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, man. And next episode, we are going to go over the grass starters. So, I will see you guys next time. And goodbye!